Welcome to the series of National Curriculum Framework for Foundation Stage. And this document was submitted in the year 2020-22. So we call it as Ncf Fs 2022. So in this series of Ncf Fs 2022, we are going to look into the complete document. So this is the first video of this series. Let us move on. Before reading the document, it is very important that we get to know who is the person who has submitted this document. So NCF Foundation Stage was submitted by Shriman K. Kasturi Rangan. Well elaborated, it is Krishnaswamy Kasturi Rangan. So till today he is aged 83 and he was the former chairman of ISRO, and he was selected as the head of the National Steering Committee for this national curriculum frameworks. So the speciality of Shriman Kasturi Rangan is that he is a scientist and he is also awarded with Padma Vibhushan. So Kasturi Rangan along with his team has formulated this NCF and submitted it to our Honorable Minister of Education. One thing that I would like to mention over here is NCF was not just a work of few people who were in the steering committee, but how steering committee people have come about conclusions on different topics of this NCF are like they have included several people. Like here in this slide, it is clearly mentioned that this process has benefited from the engagement of over 10 lakh interested citizens, including students and parents, and over 1.3 lakh teachers and educationists from across the country, over 1,550 district level consultations from 32 states and union territories, and 35 groups of institutions. These consultations are in addition to over 500 papers on 25 specifically relevant themes written by groups constituted by the states and union territories, which altogether had over 4,000 experts and 25 papers on these themes developed by expert groups with over 175 members. Okay, so all these people, okay, this 175 members, they were from the National Council for Educational Research and Training, which we call it as NCRT. So NCF is a work of these many people. It is not a work of a single person. Lots of research has been carried. Lots of inputs have been taken from common people, at the same time from the teachers and other educationists. About National Curriculum Framework. Now let's explore this part very keenly. So the National Curriculum Framework for the foundational stage is developed based on the vision of the National Education Policy. So we should remember that after NEP has been given to us, based upon NEP, this National Curriculum Framework has been prepared. So all the points which are given in NEP, okay, they are well elaborated and explained in NCF. And this is a document which helps us to implement all the points which are said in NEP. The foundational stage, as we are calling this as foundational stages NCF, it refers to the children in the age group of 3 to 8 years, that is from nursery to grade 2. Across the entire range of diverse institutions in India. It is not only for one particular part of the country, but in all the institutions of our country. So this is the first time one such sort of document has been released, especially for this curricular structure of 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Curriculum means it refers to the entirety of the organized experience of students in any institutional setting towards educational aims and objectives. Curriculum is not just a textbook. Many a times we get confused about curriculum. Curriculum means we think that curriculum is textbook. It is not that. Curriculum means the wholesome experience which we give to the child in the school, in the setup of an institution. The elements that constitute and bring to life a curriculum are numerous and include goals and objectives, syllabi, content to be taught and learned, pedagogical practices and assessment, teaching learning materials, school and classroom practices, learning environment and culture of the institution and more. So curriculum is not just a textbook. It is the wholesome experience which we give and all the things which are mentioned in this particular slide, which also includes the culture of the institution. There are other matters that directly affect a curriculum and its practice or are integrally related with not being within the curriculum. Many things are always there behind the screen. It is like a, like curriculum is like a movie. There are actors on the screen, but the whole concept and idea is of a director. The same way, there are few things which are behind the screen in case of a curriculum. And one such thing is the capacity of the teachers, involvement of parents. Parents should also actively involve, and communities' involvement, issues of access to institutions, resources that are available, administrative and support structure, and more. So all these are few things which work from behind the screen of a curriculum. The curricula across our country must be informed by and be fully responsive to the glorious unity and diversity of India. What is the major intention of developing a new curriculum for foundation stage? It should emphasize upon the glorious unity and diversity of India. Like we are a country with diverse group of people, diverse belief sets, but still we are united as a nation. So we have to emphasize upon that particular idea of our country right from foundational stage. The imagination of NEP 2020, where institutions and educators are highly empowered, including to develop curricula, is organized by the diversity and the nurturing of it. So NCF is giving us a broad, like space as to develop our own curriculum. Okay, like we can develop our own curriculum, especially states can include the concepts or certain, aspects of that particular region into the textbook. So they are giving us a scope as to broaden our ideas and understandings. States have the constitutional mandate to provide high quality education to children, and their own unique state contexts inform their own approaches to curricula. Just now we have discussed this point. Like states have the right, at the same time, they have the chance to emphasize upon the regional content. What is a curriculum framework? The curriculum framework provides the guiding principles, goals, structure, and elements for the development of a curricula, informed by which the syllabi, teaching learning materials, including play material, workbooks, textbooks, and assessment methods will be developed by the relevant functionaries, including teachers in the states, boards, and schools. So, curriculum framework is a concept of giving necessary guidelines and principles to develop the curriculum. Okay, wherein teachers, states, and boards and schools are also involved in developing a curriculum for the students. A curriculum framework must support exactly that. It is a framework to help develop all the diverse curricula in the country while enabling consonances and harmony across the country and providing a basis for equality and equity. So the suggestions which are given in NCF are in such a way that regional content can be emphasized. Though emphasis is upon regional content by different states, what is happening is still the unity of the country is remaining. The beauty of this country is that we are all unified as a nation, though we are all from diverse groups. So this point is emphasized again and again, that regional culture is emphasized again and again in the NCF. The overarching objective of this NCF is to help in positively transforming the school education system of India as envisioned in NEP 2020 through corresponding positive changes in the curriculum, including pedagogy. Not only it is to bring changes about the curriculum, but also to change the pedagogy in the school. What are the objectives of National Curriculum Framework? Let us explore them. In particular, the National Curriculum Framework aims to help change practices in education and not just ideas. Indeed, since the word curriculum encapsulates the overall experiences that a student has in school, practices do not just refer to curricular content and pedagogy, but also include school environment and culture. Okay. It is also about changing the practices in education, not just changing the textbooks or not just changing the pedagogy. It is also the practices that are being followed in the schools. Okay. And these practices are nothing but the complete experience, overall experience of the school and environment of the school. It is this holistic overall transformation of the curriculum that will enable us to positively transform overall learning experience of students. So when the curriculum is transformed positively, the overall experience of the students also become positive. Characteristics of this NCF to enable its objectives. So there are certain characteristics of this NCF. We are going to look into that, which is helping, okay, or which is enabling to meet the objectives of the NCF. While based upon the latest research in early childhood care and education, this NCF aims to be understandable and relatable to and usable by practitioners of education, including teachers and other educators, school leaders, and functionaries of education systems such as project officers, cluster and block resource persons, block education officers, teacher educators, examination boards, and curriculum or syllabi or textbook development teams. First and foremost important point which we need to understand from this slide is that how is this NCF developed? It is developed based upon the latest research that has happened in early childhood care and education. And what are the aims? To make it understandable. Second one is relatable. And third one is usable. By whom? Practitioners of education, people who are practicing education, which means in trainee teachers, which includes teachers and other educators also, school leaders like academic coordinators, vice principals, principals, functionaries of the education system like project officers, cluster and block resource persons, all the people who are involved, okay, in the wholesome picture of this education department. The NCF also aims to provide the interested reader a reasonable understanding of what education should look like in our new vision for schools and why and what role individuals could play as parents, community members, and citizens of India who all have a large stake in Indian education. Indian education is not just based upon the student and teacher. It is also based upon the parent, community members, which means the basic society, people in the society, and citizens of India. So what are the roles played by these people, okay, in education of the children? That also we are going to explore in this particular document. Nevertheless, this NCF is designed with the teacher as the primary focus. Who is the primary focus of NCF? The teacher is the primary focus. Whether a parent reads or not, whether any other person reads or not, whether a member in the community reads or not, teacher should definitely read NCF. So as to make this understanding of NCF very easy only, we have come up with this series so that you can listen to the series and you can take up your self-assessment. The reason being that the teacher is at the heart of the practice of the education. Like we say, teachers are the heart of the institution, teachers are the heart of the practice of education. Why? Because it is the teacher who is ultimately the torch bearer for the changes we seek. If you have to bring about a change in the society, it can be happening through only a teacher, because a teacher goes and facilitates in the classroom. A teacher, whether he or she, can motivate the children to come about with a change. As such, it is the perspective of the teacher that must be carried by all, including syllabus and content developers, textbook writers, administrators, and others. So, the perspective of education should change as per NCF among all these people, especially the teachers. This NCF thus aims to adopt a presentation style and structure that enables the above objectives of readability, accessibility, and relevance to the teacher. While it aims to articulate the underlying philosophy and principles, it does not simply leave it at the level of abstraction but also brings it to practice. So, one plus point of this NCF is, let me make this point very clear to you all. This NCF is not just for the purpose of reading, but they have given many examples in this document in such a way that you can put all the points which are said in this NCF document in practice. So that we are going to explore further. To enable this and to communicate ideas with greater clarity, this NCF contains different levels of detail and specificity at the level of practice with clear real-life illustrations in a variety of contexts. It is just like an example, like we have several example problems in mathematics. For each and every input which is given to us through NCF, they have given certain real-life illustrations. The teacher or curriculum developers are not bound by these illustrations, but it is envisaged that this level of detail will help to make this NCF graspable, relatable, and usable. The main intention is to grasp the NCF, relate the NCF to your classroom experience, and use this NCF document in your teaching. This NCF also aims to account for the reality of the current typical institution and teacher while being entirely in harmony with the imagination of the best resourced institutions. Thus, this NCF aims to be deeply rooted in the reality of our context, yet aspirational. So, this NCF is based upon many points which are given in this NCF. NCF are based upon the current situation of the education institutions and the current situation of the teachers. Based upon all those things and understanding all those things, this NCF has been developed, and there is an aspiration, which means a goal to achieve. So this is the end of this particular series. We are done with a small introduction of NCF Foundation Stage 2022. So in the next series, we'll be starting with the, in the next part of this series, we'll be starting with the chapters. Till then, have a good time. Thank you.